So I'm going to set this down. If you can't hear me, sorry. I need to use my hands when I start talking without any kind of script to go off. So I want to talk, first of all, just for 3 straight minutes. I'm going to try not to interrupt myself about some thoughts that I have about this. So these are going to be random, all over the place, just random thoughts that I have had. So the main thing that has stuck out to me since the beginning of the trial, they've talked this whole time about this being about custody and all these flimsy motives. But they've also said Billy Wagner, the father, is the one who ultimately came up with this idea. Does anybody else find it suspicious that Billy came up with this? You're telling me Meth Head Billy was smart enough to come up with a plan like this? Over custody? Or did Billy owe Chris money? Because, hear me out, if you remember way back towards the beginning, when we were interviewing family members that were in with doing drug deals with, this is back when we were talking about Skid Montgomery. This is like week number 1. When we were talking about the drug dealing and the pot growing and all of that, there was this big drug deal out west, right? That Billy and Chris were going to go to. They were going to go out there. It was going to be like tens of thousands of dollars each, that it was going to be this big drug deal. And they've since come out and proved that it didn't exist, that this drug deal was fake. Now, this was obviously prior to the murders because Chris got in the truck and Chris got out of the truck in Cincinnati. There was no drug deal. What were they going out there for? Does anybody else think Chris wasn't supposed to come back from that? That this was going to be a drug deal gone bad? And Chris wasn't coming home? That this was Billy's way of getting rid of his partner that had been talking about going legitimate by setting up LLCs and things to start these, I don't know, I've heard they were pain clinics, but I've also heard they were dispensaries. Now, this would have been in like 2015, 2016. This is when medical marijuana in Ohio had just become legal and has become a large corporation here. And there's a lot of people that made a lot of money on it. Side note, Nick Lachey was one of them that tried to get it passed back then because he would have made a shit ton of money on it. So now he makes shows on Netflix instead. But anyway, I think Billy owed Chris 40 grand. And I think what started this was that Billy wanted Chris Sr. gone. And I don't think that's talked about enough. So that's the end of the first bonus. Let's head to the second one.